Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Jellybean, and today I'm going to be doing part 2 of how I met all my friends. If you haven't seen part 1, it's right here. Go watch it. But I am going to re-explain how I met Cyber, LY, and Pick, but like in the timeline of how I met everybody else. So it sounds kind of more, I don't know why I'm trying to sound professional about this, but like, I don't know. It's my phone. But without further ado, let's get on this story time of how I met all my bestest friends I have now. So, for context, I started Gorilla Tag in January of 2025. I started on the PlayStation VR 2, which is a VR headset meant for the PlayStation 5, as everybody knows. And before, it was just me. I had to share the headset with my brother and my sister. But before, like, I had no friends at the time. And I was pretty much by myself. I just kept going into public forest lobbies, public city lobbies by myself, trying to make friends, because at the time, I had no friends. So, for the past 2 months, I would just be joining public lobbies, trying to make some friends. Until March of 2025. I don't know the specific day. I know somewhere around March of 2025. I was in a public city lobby, hanging out actually in this exact room. The mirror room. Obviously, that's where I'm at now. Yeah, I was hanging out in here. And, like, on PlayStation, it looks different. If you've seen my PlayStation video, you know how different in here looks. So, I was casually just hanging out in here with another girl. And I look where the window is over here. Like, this window, but on PlayStation. And I just see this guy staring at me and this other girl while we're just minding our business. And I was like, why is he just staring at us? So, I casually left this room with the girl, because she was beside me. And we went up to him. And we're like, hey, because like me and her were going to join a private code. So, me and her went up to him. We're like, hey, how about we go ask this dude if he wants to come with us into this private code? And she's like, okay. What the heck? So, we walk up to him. We're like, we said hi, and he said hi back. And we asked him if he wanted to come into a private code with us, and what the frick? He said yeah. So, he came with us into the private code. And it was just me, him. I forgot his name at the time. It was a really difficult name to memorize at the time. It was me, this girl, and him. And we were just hanging out in this private code. And the girl had to go. She had to go. Because PlayStation VR what the heck? PlayStation VR headsets do not die. Because they plug in to the PlayStation 5. So they don't die. So she had to go. And it was just me and him. And we were just hanging out until either he had to get off or I had to get off. And we both said bye. And we got off. And I was thinking to myself, I'm probably never going to see him again. Until the next day, around the same time, I was back into another public city lobby. And I see him again. And he's like, Jellybean. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's you again. I thought I was never going to be able to see you again. And he's like, same. So we just hanged out. And for like 2 or 3 weeks straight, I saw him in every single public lobby I was in. And then from there, we just went from hanging out in Publix to hanging out in private codes with just me and him. And there was one time we got like separated for like 2-3 weeks because he had to go to summer camp for like a week. And while he was at summer camp, I got banned on that version of Gorilla Tag on PlayStation for toxicity, even though I didn't really do nothing. So I was banned for 2 weeks. That was like 2 weeks. We didn't... Oh, I thought one of my cats was up by my leg. Sorry. For the past 2 weeks, we didn't get to see each other because of my ban, and he was at summer camp. And another week went by without seeing him. Because I was unbanned, and he was back from summer camp. We still didn't get to see each other in Publix until the 4th week we saw each other, and we were so freaking happy to see each other. He's like, Jellybean, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, oh my god, it's you again. I freaking missed you. And we went to a private code, and we hung out again. And that started a pretty great friendship between me and him, as you could tell from today. And a couple months passed, and around June of 2025, I went into a public forest lobby, and I met this kid, and we were hanging out pretty much the whole time we were in that lobby. And I straight up asked him, like, hey, do you want to come in my private code and hang out there, just me and you? And he says, yeah. So we joined the code. And it was just me and him for like a good couple minutes to an hour. And my friend, which at the time he changed his name to Cyber, he joined the code, and he's like, hey, Jellybean. I'm like, hey, Cyber. And he's like, who's this guy? And I'm like, oh, this is someone I met in a public forest lobby. And Pick said hi to Cyber. Cyber said hi to Pick. Right off the bat, they became the best of friends that they are today. And it was actually awesome to see how good their bond is now. And then it was just the three of us. Me, Cyber, and Pick. And that's pretty much how the friend group started. With me, Cyber, and Pick. Because it was just the three of us. And during the summer, when we were all out of school, we would just play Gorilla Tag all day long. And hang out with each other all day long. From like... The earliest was like 9 a.m. to like 5, 6 p.m. in the evening. So we would hang out every day, all day, during summer break. Then, around July, I don't know like the exact time, but it was around July, me, Cyber, and Pick met Timmy. If you don't know him, his channel is like right here. But we met Timmy, but from what he told me on how he met us, he said that he was with someone else, and he told Timmy to join the private code we had at the time. And he joined it, and me, Pick, and Cyber were there, hanging out like usual. It just came a daily thing where when we were in the code, Timmy was joined and hanged out with us. And that's pretty much how we met Timmy. And then around the end of August of 2025, then that's when I got my MetaQuest, because Cyber got a PC and an adapter so he can play this version of Gorilla Tag, but on Steam. And I still wanted to play with him because he's literally my bestest friend in the whole entire world. So I got a MetaQuest so I could play with him. And he was also gone for like another week because he went camping with his family and stuff. So he couldn't play. So it was just me again. And I was in a public. And it was around the end of August, the beginning of September, I believe. Is when I met LY. And we were in a public forest lobby because it was just me at the time because Cyber was camping. And I was hanging out with this girl. So we were hanging out, and then me, LY, and a couple other people joined a private code, and we were playing Ghost Reactor. And everyone else got off. Like, either their headsets died or they just had to go, and it was just me and her. And we hanged out, and I added her on the friends machine. Then, when Cyber got back from camping, we were hanging out, just me and him. And she joins the code. And she comes in, because we were in here hanging out, pretty much. And she comes in from over here. And Cyber's like, who's she? And I'm like, oh, she's a girl I met in a public lobby like a week ago. And Cyber said hi to her. LY said hi back. And it was just me, LY, and Pick. Well, not Pick. Me, LY, and Cyber hanging out. And they have their differences here and there, but whatever. And also around September, Pick got his MetaQuest. So he was here with us too, around the middle of September. And October comes, around October 2025 is when I met Kira. Kira came, and she's really sweet. She's a sweet girl. Like, she's sweet. And she asked if she could be a part of the group, and me and Cyber, like, we don't see a problem with her joining the group. So she joined the group. And at the time, it was just me, Cyber, Pick, LY, Timmy, and Kira. So it was just us. We hanged out every day. Even during the school week, when we had school and stuff, we'd usually get on after school and hang out with everybody. Then, around the end of November, the beginning of December, I believe, of 2025, I met Hunter. And Hunter was actually friends with LY. But we never met him before. And one time we were hanging out in Stump, like we usually do, sometimes. And this random dude joins. And me and Cyber look at each other, we're like, who is this? And LY's like, oh, this is one of my friends. And he wouldn't talk for the first couple days because he didn't know us and he was shy. So he didn't talk to us for a couple days. But once he warmed up to us, he actually started communicating with us. And LY asked if he can be a part of the group. And me and Cyber, again, we're like, we don't see a problem with him being in the group. So he joined the group. And then it was me, Cyber, Pick, Timmy, Kira, LY, Kira, and Hunter. Then, around the end of December of 2025, the beginning of January of 2026, is when I met Pick's IRL friends, Rowan and Kale. Because they got MetaQuests, I believe, for Christmas. And they got Gorilla Tag, so they can obviously play with Pick. And Pick asked me if I wanted to meet them. And I'm like, sure. Why not? So I met them. And they were super chill. Like, they were nice. They were funny. They were chill. That's pretty much what this group's about. We like to joke around. We like to be funny. We like to be stupid in a funny way. And they were that. So I was hanging out with them for a couple weeks. And Pick asked me one day, he's like, Jellybean, can Rowan and Kale join the friend group? And I said sure. Because I'm like, yeah, why not? But I had to ask Cyber because even though, like, I'm the leader of this group, he also is the leader of the group. He helped me start this whole thing. So I had to ask him, and he didn't have a problem with it. So that's when Kale and Rowan joined the group. And a little recently, we got a new member. Her name's Olivia, with an O. It was the weekend of Valentine's Day of 2026, so not that long ago. Me and Pick were in a public force lobby on casual because Cyber was busy, so he couldn't get on. Everyone else just couldn't get on for some reason. Either their headsets were dead or they just couldn't get on because they were busy. So me and him went into a public. This girl kept following Pick around pretty much. And she didn't have a mic because her head strap was broke. So we invited her into the private code. And she was hanging out with us, and then she got a new head strap. So she started talking with us. And pretty much she met like pretty much almost everybody in the group except for Hunter. And yeah, we got a new member. So welcome to the group, Olivia. And it's now almost March of 2026. I got an amazing friend group, amazing friends. Literally next month will mark 1 year of me and Cyber knowing each other, which is amazing. If I didn't meet Cyber, I don't know if this whole friend group would have been a thing, but I'm so happy I met all my friends that I have today. They are the most best people I've ever met in my life. And that's how I met every single one of my friends. From detail to detail. In a timeline kind of way. And yeah. So that's where it ends for now at the friend group. The friend group's still here, you know what I mean. But that's how I met everybody. And I'm super grateful to have them in my life. They are amazing people. I love hanging out with them. I love being myself with these people. Of course he won't. Because I never myself around my friends.
It doesn't matter.
But these friends, I can actually be myself. I can be my silly, goofy, weird, stupid, dumb self in front of them.
Pretty much, yeah.
And they won't judge me for it because they're also the same way. Like me. So, it's literally... These are, the best people I've ever met in my life. And I'm grateful for that. Okay. They're here through my ups and downs, my worst days, my good days.
You look so goofy.
And I'm grateful to have them. They are...
Did you just
They are amazing people.
Finally!
And I love them. I love them so much.
Now you do it.
And...
Whoa!
Yeah. If you haven't already, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you can be notified whenever I post a new video. And that wraps up the video. Bye!